One of the awesome features that Podio has is the ability to make web forms that you can either just send as a link to people, host on your website, and then it brings in all that information on the form, so contact fields and statuses right into Podio. Makes it really easy to bring in new leads. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go through some basic and advanced features of setting up a web form within Podio and putting it on your site. So let's jump in and get started. So you'll need to go to a workspace and then open up whichever workspace you're going to put the app into. So the web form is built off of an app and the fields that are in an app. So we're going to go ahead and make a new app. We're going to call it web form. And pick some fun icon. Kind of looks like a form. Then I always like to use the table, but you can choose which other app view you like. Go ahead and create that. So just like you would normally build an app, you're going to go ahead and just start adding fields. So we're going to call this full name, email address, phone number, how can we help? You want to make sure that you come in and adjust these fields so the required functionality within Podio fields does apply to the web form. So if you want all these fields to be required, you can go ahead and do that. Also make sure that if you want them to only be a single line, they're a single line. And also if you wanted to add some help text, that will also show up in the web form. So once you're done building on the fields, just hit done. And now what you can do is have the app open and then have the sidebar for the app open, or actually it doesn't matter, either or. You just need to hit the wrench. So in the wrench you get some options for the app, and there's one called web form. So you can go ahead and click on that. So what it will automatically do is it's going to start showing you the fields that we just created. I only did a single line of text for how we can help, but you can make that a multi-line. It will be a bigger field. So over on the right, we're going to scroll down to the configuration and talk about that first. So here you can choose which app fields are available within the web form. If you go to the next option, you can change the title and the description so they can be contact us. Fill this form out. You can change the theme, so it gives you 4 built-in themes, and then if you have the ability to use custom CSS, you can go ahead and do that there. It helps you bring in your logo and stuff like that. Spam protection, if you have the form up and notice that you're getting a lot of spam into the form with just bots going through, you can do enable CAPTCHA to get rid of that. And the button text, which is down here at the bottom, you can change that to say something else, as well as the success message that pops up after you hit submit. So once you've kind of customized the configuration, you can just hit save and share. So the next thing that you have to do is decide where you're going to put the web form. There's a couple of things that you can do. The first is you can just share it from that link. So I can literally copy and paste this link, send it to somebody in email. I can make a bit.ly link out of it and put it in my social media. Anything that I want, I can do with that link. If you want to embed the web form, it gives you the HTML code here, so just copy and paste it into your own website or wherever you want to put an iframe of that code. One thing to make sure you do, if you do embed the web form, put the domain that you are putting that form on. And what I mean by that is, like if I was going to put it on my own website, focalogical.com, I would need to make sure that focalogical.com is here. The reason for that is people can take that code off of your website and put it on their own website, and you'd still be getting submissions from that. So Podio added another layer of security that says only now enable submissions to this form if it's hosted on this website. So make sure you do that if you're embedding the web form. So let's take a look at how this form looks right now. Great, so contact us, fill this form out, full name, email address, phone number, and then how can we help you. So let's go ahead and actually fill that out. See how over there on the right hand side, what services or products are you interested in pops up? That's the help text on that field. So let's hit submit. Thank you for your inquiry. We'll get back to you as soon as possible. So I got a notification already from Podio that was submitted. Let's go in and have a look. So here's my web form. So you notice that now this is the item within that app that I created, and it's all come in. And then I can take that information and action out upon that. And that's how we're going to go into some more of the advanced features now. So once you have the form in and the entry submitted, what do you do next? The first thing that I would say is that you want to be able to have some statuses on this form so that you can say what kind of status is in. So the great thing about Podio Webforms is that you can have some fields on and some fields off. So for example, I can make a status field right here up at the top. I can even have an assigned person field. I want to make sure that that is workspace members. I hit done. So let's go ahead and go back to that app. So in the app, if I come back here to the web form, you'll notice that the new fields that I just added are not selected, which is good because those are fields that I don't want them to see. If I did want them to see it, I would just check them. But since I consider these internal fields, they're not going to show in the external web form. So I can just have people submit that web form, and then once it comes into my system, then I can use these internal fields to start actioning upon that. The other one that I wanted to point out here too is these attachments. It's always defaultly there. So if you don't want that there, you can turn that off with attach files down here at the bottom. So I changed something, so I'm going to hit save and share, and then let's just copy that shareable link. Alright, so you still see its full name, email address, phone number, and how can we help you with no attach field now. But when I go to the web form and I look at that entry, it gives me a couple more things to do. So now I have a status and assigned resource that's internally on that, so I can start actioning upon items that are in that web flow. That web form. Alright, so let's take that to the next step. So the next step would be I get notified from Podio when a new form is submitted, and that shows up here in my top right, my notifications. But I really prefer to work off a task list. It helps me kind of get through the day and make sure that everything got accomplished. So using Podio's built-in workflows, we can have a task assigned when a web form comes in. So the way to do that is to have the app open, click on the wrench to change the app settings, and then down the bottom is manage workflows. So these workflows Podio has built in, they're free, and what we're going to do is we're going to click create workflow. And basically when the web form is created, I'm going to create a task, and then the title is going to be new form submitted from, and here's the key: if you do the @ symbol, it then gives you variables of the fields and other items that are in this app. So I can say submitted from full name, I can assign this to myself or to another team member, whoever is going to deal with it, and I set the due date of today. Just so you know, today versus current time now. Today means it can be done at any point in time during the day. Current time means like it's today with the time slot, so it will very quickly go to red in your task list, which brings it up to the top, which is what I kind of like to do for submission forms, just to make sure they get taken care of as soon as possible. And then if you wanted to add any details, they submitted this information. I'm going to do another at. I'm going to say, how can we help? And then I'm going to hit save. So now, if I go and fill this form out, hit submit. Now I get notifications that a new item was created and I got a task assigned me. So let's go look at that. So here's the next item. So here we go. So here's all the details from the form, and then here's the task. So new form submitted from John Woodfield. They submitted this information, need help with email. So I can mark that as done. I can go back to the item. I can say complete. If I wanted to mark myself as the assigned resource, I could do that. So the next advanced features, I want to take that even a step further. So using Globiflow, which is an automation tool for Podio, we can really do some cool things with these tasks. So I'm going to go ahead and log into Globiflow. It logs in using Podio, and then since I've made changes to Podio since being in Globiflow, I'm going to do refresh from Podio. Alright, so now that's refreshed, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my demo here and find the web form. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new flow. So my new flow is going to be when an item is updated. So my goal here is to say that, alright, so somebody goes to my web form, they submit information, Podio automatically assigns me a task to go take care of that. I then do whatever actions I need to on that form, and then I'm going to mark a status as being complete. Now, once it's complete, that means that I've just addressed that initial concern, but now I want to move them into my CRM pipeline. So Globiflow, what it will do is it says it's going to check the statuses on that app, and it says if this field has changed and equals this, then go ahead and create an item somewhere else. Let me show you how that works. So I can name the flow whatever I want. The trigger is when an item is updated and it's in the web form application. So I want a filter. And the first filter is always going to be if the field has changed. The reason for that is Globiflow is always going to look at all the changes in the items in that app. So if you just have the filter of field value match and the status is complete, every single time that anything changes in that item, because the whole item is being updated, then this flow is going to run. So I only want this flow to run when the status is changed. So if the field status has just changed and if the status is equal to complete, then I'm going to go ahead and run these actions, and that action is going to be create an item. So I'm going to put that item right here into my CRM, and I'm going to use these add field functions to then come in and do the name is equal to the name on the form. The category is going to be a lead. The date created is going to be the current date. You can even do current date and time. Their phone number is the phone number from the form. And their email is the email from the form. And their description is, this is where I can do some cool things. So, came in from the web form. Initial, let's say, first comment from the name was, and then I'm going to put in what they said, so how we can help. So basically, this is going into this item in the CRM. It came in from the web form. The first comment from whoever sent it in was how, and then basically what they said in the web form. Here are the comments from the web form item. So I always use the activity stream and comments to go ahead and make status updates and changes as to the whole team being able to tell what's going on. So the great thing about using Globiflow is that I can, when I move things from one app to the others, I can take all those comments and put them into the other item. So that's right down here, and that's the web form, all comments. So let's hit save. Let's go test it out. Alright, so let's go back to contact us. Actually, we'll just go back to the web form. Alright, so let's use the original one that I haven't marked as complete yet. So let's go into here and we're going to make this comment, and I'm going to say, I called and spoke to John. He is interested in our building products. I'm going to hit add. So now, if I come in here and I go complete, if I come back out and I go to CRM, here we go. So it added me as a lead, date created, with that phone number, with that email address. Here's the description. Came in from the web form. First comment from Joe Field was testing the web form. And then here are the comments from the web form item by Joe Field on the date and time I called and spoke to John. He's interested in our building products. So now that web form information, the actions I made on that web form, are now moved into another app, my CRM app, so I can take that a step further and start building a relationship with that customer. That is it for this tutorial. As always, we like your feedback, so please go to feedback.focalogical.com. Let us know what you thought. We do, of course, do a free 30-minute consultation for anybody that has Podio questions and just kind of wants to work through anything. You don't have to become a client with us or anything like that. We just love helping you out and meeting you and hearing how you're using Podio or want to use Podio. So to sign up for that, go to consult.focalogical.com and fill out that Podio web form right there. And if you have any Podio video tutorials that you'd like to see on YouTube, let us know what those are at videos.focalogical.com. And finally, we are building some Podio solutions that are kind of pre-made. Podio, Globiflow, and other automations already kind of built into one package that we would just install up for you and provide support for just a fixed fee price. So if you're interested in those, go to podiosolution.focalogical.com. Have a good one.